Hey, scrappy people, it's Traci Reed here, and today we are going digital and we are going hybrid. And please do not turn off this video if you are a pure paper scrapper, because you will want to know how to do the things that I'm doing in this video today. You are going to love it. So just give it a little bit of a chance and maybe just hear me out just for a second, okay? So today we are going to be working with my Traveler's Scrapbook Starters #1. And I'm going to be showing you how to take these digital templates that are Traveler's notebook size and put them into Photoshop and use them as digital templates and then as hybrid templates. So I am using those templates plus my new On the Bright Side kit that is actually free right now with purchase, $10 or more for my featured designers spot at Sweet Shop Designs. And right now I am just bringing the papers into one of the Traveler's Scrapbook templates. So if you are completely new to Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, there are a ton of tutorials on how to do this, how to use templates in my YouTube videos. There's even an entire playlist on digital scrapbooking, so I will link below to the playlist and to the video. So what you see me doing right here is I'm just going through and I'm picking things that I want to use on my Traveler's Notebook page. And I am picking banners and I am picking embellishments. I've already set my papers where I want them to go. And as you can see, just like with a paper scrapbooking sketch, a Traveler's Notebook, a digital template is full of placeholders that you can change up to suit your needs, or you can use explicitly, like these hearts. I could clip papers to these hearts, but instead I'm going to pull in my wood veneer hearts. You can use them as placeholders. You can use them as exactly what they are supposed to be. You really can make any template your own. So for the purposes of the digital version of this layout, I am pulling in the digital wood veneer, the digital rubber flowers, and I'm placing them in the placeholders as outlined by the template. And then I delete the placeholder after I'm done filling in what I want to put in the template. So you can see me scrolling through, and I'm actually going to add to this template a little bit. I purposefully kept the templates a little bit simple because Traveler's Notebook spreads tend to be more simple because of the bulky factor of working with Traveler's Notebooks. But because I'm doing this digitally, I can add in as much as I want with little to no bulk. So I'm adding in a few more stickers and embellishments than were specifically outlined by the template. Now I'm going to go into my alphabets and I'm going to find what letters I want to use for my title. First I'm going to mess around a little bit with the placement just so I know that I have it where I want it before I start putting alphabet letters down. And again, I'm working in Photoshop, but you can do this in Photoshop Elements. You can do this on an iPad in that new program that allows you to use layers. I forget what it's called. I'll link it below when I figure out what it's called. Whatever works for you. I'm using Photoshop because that's what I use to work. So I'm going to arrange these letters. And I like them to be a little bit wonky when I'm digital scrapbooking. It's funny, when I'm paper scrapbooking, I want them to be perfectly aligned, and when I'm digital scrapbooking, I want them to be a little bit wonky. And I can't seem to break out of that mold in either direction. So I'm looking to see if there's anything else I want to add to this spread before I add my journaling. I think maybe I want to add some washi, and then I change my mind. I'm going to change the color of these, the outline of these labels, by adding a color overlay to them in Photoshop. I have them separated out as their own layer in the Photoshop template so that that's easy to do. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit of like a little word strip here, and I'm getting close to done to where I can now put in my journaling. So I'm going to add that on each label, and I'm going to pick a typewriter font, which is Splendid 66, which is one I use for just about everything. And then I'm going to make it black and then make it a little bit smaller. And then add journaling to the second label as well. I'm going to adjust this flower so that it doesn't cover up the journaling. And I just used the first set of journaling as a placeholder for the second set of journaling by clicking and dragging it and duplicating it. And I have a little bit more journaling than can fit on the labels, so I'm going to add some journaling back to the original label. And there, now we've perfected it. Now at this point, you can print it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and adhere it directly into your traveler's notebook if you were wanting to put it in an actual traveler's notebook. And that's what I'm showing you here. But I'm going to do it two ways. I'm going to print it out as a whole layout, and I'm also going to print it out in pieces as a hybrid page. So I'm opening up an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I'm going to copy the whole layout right there. And then I'm going to add in all the little separate pieces as well so that I can piece them in just like if they were paper scrapbooking embellishments. So right here, I clear layer styles so that I can get rid of all the shadows, and I don't realize till the very end that I've also gotten rid of the color overlay on the labels. So the labels for my hybrid page are going to have black borders, which is okay because there's black in the kit that I'm using. But it's a little bit of a bummer when I notice. And I'm just going to add all of the little pieces here so that I can print them out easily. I added a black 1-point stroke to the outside of the good stuff thing since it was white. And now I'm printing it. And this is what it looks like printed. I printed on thin-ish cardstock because it's going in my traveler's notebook, so I don't want it to be too thick. And now I'm going to take this printed paper and I'm going to cut it apart and have just that full, completely done page to the side. And then I'm going to fussy cut out each and every one of those little pieces down there. Now I could use my silhouette, but I find setting my silhouette up for cutting is more annoying than just fussy cutting for me. So I'm just going to fussy cut them all out, and I won't make you watch that. But you can see I'm separating with my paper trimmer the background paper and the completed layout. Alright, so now that I've got this all trimmed up, here is all of the cut up pieces, and I'm going to print the photos separately on photo paper so it has that shine instead of the little bit of the flatness that you get when you print it on cardstock. So I'm just going to use the original completed layout as a template and sort of just go with the flow and put it back together. Now, if you were doing this yourself, you probably wouldn't have a printed out completed layout, but you could just follow what's on the screen in Photoshop and piece everything back together that way as well. So I'm just kind of throwing things where they're going to go while my photo prints. And I can start gluing down the papers and the things that are going to be on the bottom. So I'm going to do that. And I'm using a glue stick. I find it adheres best in my traveler's notebook, better than the tape runners do. The tape runners tend to peel up for me, so I like using glue sticks. And I'm just kind of referencing the finished layout next to me and placing things where I want to go, where I want them to go. Now, I could change things up at this point. I could put things in different places if I wanted. It really is, the templates are really just a guide for you to very easily get things done in a hybrid fashion. You don't have to print out extra paper, wasting ink. You just have to print out exactly the right size of paper strip that you want to use, which is a good thing when you're printing out things for hybrid scrapbooking. You don't want to waste ink or waste paper. I like to conserve as much as I can so I can get more done. So here I'm just trimming my photo, and I'm keeping that white border that is on the original template as well. There we go. And I realized that that flower was hanging off the edge. I hadn't put it down perfectly, so I moved it back over. Now, with hybrid and printing out digital embellishments, you lose some of the depth that you have with digital scrapbooking because you lose the shadows and you lose the texture of the embellishments. Like those flowers were rubber looking in Photoshop, but they're not as rubber looking when they're printed out. So instead of using the wood veneer, digital wood veneer hearts, I'm going to use actual flat-ish wood veneer hearts, real ones that I got from Gossamer Blue, and they're nice and flat, so they won't add too much bulk to my page, but they do give a nice depth that I wouldn't have gotten with just using all digital printed out embellishments. And now I'm going to, I have the love printed out already, so I'm going to fussy cut it and add it to my page. And I'll spare you watching me fussy cut the whole thing. So I've got them all cut out now, and I'm going to adhere them just like they were on the original page. So by using these templates hybrid, you get the best of both worlds. You get the customization ability of digital scrapbooking with the resizing of the papers and the embellishments to fit exactly how you need, but then you also get the tactile experience of having a physical traveler's notebook to look at. So if you like this video, if you enjoyed the tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you subscribe to my page. And these templates are available starting today. Thank you!